The ARL is a what if. So the ARL, the Animation Rap League, literally I thought was a thing back in the day, but literally I was just young. It's a whole entire internet form that runs off Morse code. If you don't know what Morse code is when you pretend to be something you're not, but because you're in a certain position, because people view you a certain way, you're gonna come off as something different. Like you can stumble, but people will think you're confident. Literally, Morse code is to literally do a lot of things. It's literally gain biasism and spread messages to certain audiences. So what ended up happening was they had some hard hitters, and literally, what if literally somebody tried to replicate one of the greatest sources of media of all time, Dragon Ball Z? Now, this was a cartoon that blew up in the West, and what ended up happening was we had a whole lot of people criticizing it, saying that it's just a cartoon, saying that it's not for people who want to socialize. Like, you need to drop it if you need to get a girlfriend. All the shit and beyond about this show, you have to understand. So it was known to be very epic on TV, but it ended up having a fan base of nerds and people who really just don't want to grow up, and people literally just, making excuses for it. It bred a whole lot of people who bred mental conditions to watch this show, partially because of the way, humans are. The reason why we can't view it that way is because we live in a fucked up society, is because no one wants to take the time to teach us, literally. It's not a great show for a single mother household, because you have to understand that, literally, there's Dragon Ball Z and then there's life. But then there's hip-hop. There are two things that blew up on the television that were both hip-hop and Dragon Ball Z were hits at the time. But what kept them separate? Well, it turns out over the years, we figured out that it came from a foreign country. The way it was advertised in the rest is that we think that Dragon Ball Z is, a rock show that's all about fighting, punching, and kicking like Captain Planet and shit. But wait till you get older, we recognize what writing is. It's actually based off a folktale. And a folktale is how it started, and later on it started to make American references like Star Wars and literally why you decided to go to outer space in order to reach more and higher audiences. There was already a mainstream reference in there. The anime wasn't just this thing where you can be a celebrity and think you can get away with it. Like, Little Chris can't get away with saying Goku in a song. So when we did try to support anime to rap like Lil Pump, it didn't mean anything. The thing I liked about anime is that there are many different animes with different characters and like the different ways the characters interacted. Back in the days of hip hop, there were many different rappers and many different ways in the way he spat, like T.I., Andre 3000, Busta Rhymes, Lil Chris. Those are my favorites, Fabulous, Fat Joe sometimes, Paul Wall, Chameleonaire. I listen to all of them. Common, Kanye West, Mos Def, and Talib Kweli. I listened to all of them, but the only people who I didn't listen to was Nas. I didn't listen to Nas, I didn't listen to Jay-Z. And I ended up killing Nas in the future based off a pure principle being good, because Nas is the one who brought Morse code to the rap game. What happens when you join gang after gang and you never grow up and you realize that you get an easy entry fee and you're not actually dealing with life? Literally, you deal with everything that has to do with that title you so proclaimed. When you claim to be this hotshot, literally, bullshit, literally, you are able to get things away, literally, the same way you got them through being a bitch. So how you escape problems when life challenges you, you be a bitch. The same way you got that entry fee is the same way you escape the problems, and that's why you're never facing them and be a man. And Morse codes help you with that. Literally, instead of you accepting what you did, what you should have said, literally, turns out to be something else. Because you no longer fear what you said, it's what you said indicates. I may sound like a bitch to you, but I'm secretly making a call to a gang. It's not good at all. And he ended up dying based off a thirst pick. So just ask yourself, dark internet, people who join gangs, people who think they can be little kids forever, literally, instead of literally face your problem head on, literally, why you fall back on a so-called friend? The whole fucking region, the whole reason why you're doing this for, got destroyed by a thirst pick. You know why? It was a weak concept and you held on to it. ARL lives, shits, and breathes through Morse code. They don't care. An easy victory is better than literally no victory at all. It's all bred from Christopher Sabat and Sean Simmel's beef. They had a beef to the actual, Funimation Network, not due to their gangs, but due to their lifestyles. And so, literally, what ended up happening on the air when they realized that Sean Simmel and Christopher Sabat were getting in trouble off screen is that they split the world into two. One was understanding, like Sean. Like, Sean is on the side of Helen. Go back to season 2 and go look up Big Mama's house. Helen is a very nice lady. And Sean is more like Helen than Chris. Chris is more of a biker. What they got through Sean is, yo, yeah, fucking life is cruel. I just saw Sean got handcuffed. I just saw Sean do this and that, but I also know he's a good person because I saw him the way he handled the situation, so it makes me trust him, but I can't get nowhere near him. There are some people, like Lily, I like Sean, but I can't get nowhere near him because he used to be in the gang. I know what happens to be in the gang in general, and I have to stay away from him, but I respect him for who he is off screen, but I will keep my distance from Sean. That's one side of the world. The second side of the world is praising Chris for Lily being able to act like Virginia and Lily, pretending like Lily to be this fucking Lily great wrestler and shit. Lily inspired people to make more gangs. It inspired people to literally live like little kids forever. Chris inspired people to literally hide behind rap and live through little kids forever. So there's one side of the world that supports Sean that knows the world is full of shit but would rather be in peace, and the others that supports it being full of shit and creates nothing but gangs and never faces their problem head on. One thing you're forgetting about Chris's side and Nas is that you have to grow up eventually. You never thought about having kids. You thought so fucking funny now. Oh, fun. That's why you got quick entry feelings, quick now. And literally what ended up happening is you ended up in your own little world and you forgot about life. They convince you that the world is so full of shit that you never have to pass on your seed, huh? I never have to have children because this world is full of shit, literally. And that, literally, you blame people so you won't be jealous. So when everybody has children and shit like that, instead of recognizing them for being responsible, you view them as full of shit and you blame society. You don't know where it takes to actually be a real fucking parent in America. And the ARL was an animation rap league that literally could have literally taken it to Granite Heights. Literally, it was an internet forum that tried to copy hip hop when it was in its prime with all this variety. There was this one guy named Troy who used to rap slow, but used to rap slow with big multi-syllabic rhymes. And there was another chill guy named Philly who really had shorter rhymes, but really had a better rhythm. It sounded more like jazz. One was literally a chess player that literally stated what was going on. He had no flow, but all he had was fucking multi-syllabic rhymes. Literally, he was a multi-quiet rapper. And the other one was like literally like a jazz player. It was hella fucking dope. And there was this guy like Steezo who's like a fucking performer who sounds like fucking, the Street Stooges and fucking Eminem fucking put together. He's going up and down every single time he fucking raps Spring Girl show. Fucking distracting shit. I bust you with my egg because I like that shit. I don't need to say it because they don't want to fight that shit. Hold up, let me run it back. I think I might like that shit. He had a brother who raps actually faster because Steezo had the most unique, and I was pretty good in the gang, and I was pretty, mid-tier at the time. The only problem is he never uploaded a battle where I was mid-tier because that's how battle rap works in general, and that's what happens when you grow up. That's fucking people, fucking people are jealous, people are fucking stupid, all that other shit. What if I told you that was an actual storyline, this actually happened? But what if I told you we now currently live in a world where it's based off energy, not actual fact? Literally, it is based off fact, but the fact is, literally, if you don't have energy to you, you're fucking sunk in this world. This world runs off of soul more than it ever has, because you know why? Because there was a time where literally we were disconnected from, good media, like good rap and shit. So what they did was literally, they had this thing where they could hold on to, like, we're gonna be boring as fuck because we already proved we could do that. And they started blaming, just like you started blaming, fucking people for actually being able to get married in America. They started blaming, like, literally, why would I go all out and being a mainstream rapper when I can keep these rhymes on the inside and impress my friends? Praise myself for not getting pussy, but literally hit everybody with the understanding I'm black and I watch fucking Japanese cartoons. Of course I don't get pussy, but I'm able to play Yu-Gi-Oh with my friends, but I'm able to fucking keep this drive going. I'm able to do this and that. So literally, he got my hopes up that we got to put this shit back on MTV, that the ARL could be on MTV because the way Troy was rapping, the way everybody was rapping, especially me versus Sabo. What ended up happening is they had season 2 of Straight Fire, but then season 3 was lackluster in order to prove a point to me that I need to keep the league alive. But they're like, we're not gonna let you keep the league alive if you're potentially gonna get a girlfriend and if you keep using that hood nigga swag. Because my family actually comes from Chicago. Chicago is the most dangerous when it comes to gang member territory. Literally. So being ghetto is in my veins, and plus I'm not as sheltered as them. But I don't live in the hood, but I have hood in my genetics. So when you push me to a certain point, you're gonna see my mom and dad. What ended up happening is they started literally making excuses like my flow is this and that, my flow is this, and literally, I know what gang members said, your flow is everything, your flow is who you are as a person. What if I told you I needed to change as a person anyway in order to move on? And what ended up happening was, we put this shit on a pedestal because once we realized the concept of what people were doing, started saying, literally, we're not gonna have this one nigga rap slow and the other nigga rap energetic anymore. We don't care about what the fuck he's saying anymore. We started living in an audience like that. We used to be overly understanding about it, but that same guy who was slow stayed slow and never picked up the pace. So they could have been mainstream. They could have got a lot of coochie. They could have got this and that. But they became a what if. You know why? Because we run off of energy. Who cares about those battles back in the day? Because we're stuck with the understanding that they cannot come back from their social embarrassment. What I did was literally, they tried to clown me saying that I'll forever be low tier, even though they never uploaded when I be a mid tier. I started going to anime conventions where people dressed up as the characters, and I ended up grabbing over 300 women. They kept on trying to put this over me, and they kept on saying, well, you still wear shit in the ARL. Well, yeah, that's why I'm getting bitches in real life. And they kept on eating them aside over and over and over again. They could not come back, so they started posting rap battles on purpose, and they're all like, we're gonna show you that we could take you seriously, but you're not worth it. We're gonna pretend to be the bear band and Lily take the hit and stuff like that, but Lily, no, you're fucking Lily. Crying back to your cave like a little bitch. And Lily, he gave in, and they haven't uploaded a battle for 4 years. 4 years since they've had battle. 4 years since I've gone concrete coochie. They haven't Lily uploaded a battle. And they had unique rappers like rap fast, rap aggressive, Lily. All the character of the older generation, but it went from all this character to it being stale to everybody rapping the exact same way in order to prove a point that they all rap the same way in order to character way I rap. When they were boring one fucking episode and they were entertaining the next episode and saying, we're trying, we just don't want to work with you. And so I'm like, okay, well, fucking don't work with me then. And they ended up dying off. And so what ended up happening is everybody used to cling on to them like, yo, because we're living at a time where we weren't competing, and they have rhymes similar to Eminem. Like they'll fuse like, professionalism with nihilism, and denialism. Like Lily, that's a fucking Lily as animation rap characters. That shit is insane. So imagine you going to a fucking party and people are hella fucking dumb. You're tired of dealing with people's shit, and you figure out some people on the internet can rhyme like that, and you spend your time with them. And once you realize that they spend all their fucking time rhyming and nothing else, and you realize you're hanging around a little ass kid. All these rhymes are cool and shit, but when you finally disagree with them and they argue with you, they're all like, dude, this is a fucking kid who thinks Dragon Ball Z is real that can rap. Because they were fucking hiding behind their rap careers. When I started getting girls, they started crumpling as people. You're dealing with dumb girlfriends bullshit. They try to sub this in your face, but then they're all like, okay, well, I'll bow you then. It's like, well, if you got bow me, I want you to lose your girlfriend. I'm like, well, fuck out of here. I'm not losing my family over some fucking petty internet form. And they're all like, petty internet form? Petty internet form? Fucking, we used to be comparable to Eminem where he was in his prime. Talking about petty internet form. Why would I go as hard as Eminem where he advertises how he fucking went to a mental hospital? Happened to Lily, unreasonable fucking Lily, fucking very uncomfortable fucking logic at the wrong times in the wrong context, specifically to fucking Lily, choose your fucking side of society like Lily. Fucking here's the thing they do, fucking Lily, they lose on purpose and say crip or blood. Lily, they fucking drop the fucking subject, Lily. You're trying to get an answer out of them, and they imply something, but they don't fucking mean it. They purposely give you a subject to drop. How gay this is. This is how much I hold on to. This is how hard I hold on to what I believe in, and they try to say that's admirable when you're trying to say that about bullshit. You can't say no to Uzumaki believe it about bullshit. You don't understand, because I went hard as fuck because I kept on playing how it was in the era and Lily and how I used to listen to rap. And so it's all like, so why weren't you comparing it to Eminem before? How come Troy didn't have a battle? How come we're not putting it on the air then? If you fucking Lily, because they used that against me, because they knew that they were fucking back when media was in their prime. They used it in order to bribe me. Like, if you want this, and then they try to stand the fact that they came first, because I started training people Lily. I have a whole bunch of anime gangs that could replace the ARL at any moment, but it's not worth it because they're little kids. But they took advantage of that. They spammed the reverse psychology of being a coward. It's because they're not attacking yet. I'm like, dude, you are so sad. If you know how life pans out, you have really under 5 years to pull this shit off. If not, people are going to move on and people are going to create a new ARL. They kept on being petty, like it's not worth it, and plus they left off on ugly note anyway. I want to support anything in their name too. I'll wait a few years to see if they're gonna come back, and now people have already been trained, people are already ready, bro, and this is fucking crazy. 8-year-old is a what if. Wait, are you telling me that these people who have comparable fucking flows to mainstream rappers in their prime is just a what if? Like it never existed? Literally. But wait, I do kind of feel like, Lily, that they're kind of imaginary due to all the things I know I can do to bitches now that we have Dark Game. Now that we have understanding of conspiracy theories, now that we have bitches that don't give us attitude, now that we live in a world where we can pull any girl if we want to ask them if they want to smoke weed and watch Rick and Morty. They're so fucking stupid. When we recommend them to do a crazy idea like that, they'll fucking say no. Alright, Lily, I have a better idea, Riz. Why don't you get them high and watch Stranger Things? And that is why they became a what if. They did not want Lily accept the reality that you're not fucking okay with the way you're born alone. You have to develop. You have to do shit, Lily. You can't always fucking get away with fucking a blind's eye view, Lily. Because if not, you're just gonna go out there. So it was a what if because literally, when they could have fucking had all the best battles back in season 2, they left off and they died. So guess what ended up happening? Their reputation got buried in the sand to the point where what? They existed? I know who Sabo is, but what is the ARL? It's literally not Lily, it's just fucking Raza Lily. Yeah, Sabo, the guy who works the move tricks like Lily. ARL, Lily, like, it's almost like they fucking forgot. Like, there are people who actually watch the videos who forgot what they was because, Lily, where it is we have this thing called a pendulum, and pendulum works off of energy, too, and there's multiple things that have to do with the pendulum, and since, Lily, pendulum also has to do with time, and since they let time fucking way out, since they let it get stale, and they didn't care about it, they were in their prime, and they kept on uploading, so, like, Lily, we know the ARL as the fucking paper mache that Lily made excuses to the fact that Moon Tricks didn't go to school for graphic design. They're known for the bitch made ass league who fucking literally made a whole fucking, YouTube channel on cardboard. But they used to be good. And because life provided us with so much shit, so much, really good things back in the 2020s, first started, it's like the ARL never existed. Like, I have fun with family, friends, and like Lily life now. Lily, what the fuck was the ARL? Lily, the only way the ARL could be like relevant, could exist, is if they went back into their prime. Lily, so the ARLs are what if, because if you show the age you they exist, no. Lily, they're a fucking blob. Lily, if you put light on them, Lily, go check out the video right now and you feel like you're watching something from a whole other world. Voices don't sound smooth at all. You used to think that these were actual rappers, that these were Jackson all trades, and some of them even fuck bitches like Lily by the way they sound, by the way they rap, by the way they flow. But what ends up happening is that you know what life is, since everybody fucking is accustomed to a dark game culture, or at least dark game understanding due to Lily making dark game mistakes. They no longer have energy because you know why? They no longer care about it. They would only care about it if they went back to their roots, back in their prime, back when they could be the mainstream rappers on TV. So it's a what if. So in this world, they don't exist because there's not enough energy for them to exist. Like there would be a dying sprout basically if they were trying to literally check up on them. Like the sprout died. So they like literally, and it never existed because it never grown into a full flower. So the ARL is a what if because it never met its true potential. It didn't even come close to meeting its true potential, and it played around itself and it ruined its own reputation. And Lily, it's buried in the old reputation where it was, and so we can't detect it. It's like Lily, we can't sense its presence, therefore it doesn't exist. So the ARL is a what if.